Need some help finding some edge in the prop market? Check out the PropsAI tool on the LineStar app, your one-stop shop for all the information you need to place smarter bets. Gain insights into player history, projections, and trends, along with sportsbook odds. You can even compare the lines across multiple sportsbooks using our prop finder. Get the edge with PropsAI today at LineStarApp.com and take your prop betting game to the next level. Good luck, and as always, bet responsibly. Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast presented by LineStar, your top 3 NFL player prop bets for Thursday Night Football Week 17. We've got the New York Jets traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Browns are looking to clinch a playoff spot while the Jets are looking to play spoiler in this contest. Tyler, how you feeling about this Thursday night showdown?
Just another absolute banger.
Let's go. So we got your top 3 props that are available on Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard, wherever you place your bets. By the way, if you don't have those apps, download them and use the promo code LineStar. You'll get up to $100 of your first deposit match. But before we get into our top 3 props and our touchdown calls, do us a huge favor. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below. A comment also enters you into our prop bets contest. If we go 3 for 3, one randomly selected commenter will win $60. Tyler, on last week's show, we were 2-1, so we were pretty close for going 3-0 there and giving out some money and setting off the money gun. So this is our week. We've been actually crushing our picks for Thursday night football shows specifically, Tyler. We are 17-11 overall this season, 61%. That ain't bad at all. So let's keep it rolling here on this Thursday night. We've only got, what, 1 or 2 more here this coming up. So the season is dwindling down. As a Jets fan, as you can see with my Jets shirt here today, we're still supporting. You know, that's how we roll. But it has been a painful year for the New York Jets, to say the least. So this game, it's like, do we even want to win? Do we want a better draft pick? Or are we going to do it like we did last week and just win for no reason at all? Like blow a 20-point lead, come back and win. And it's just like, ugh. The New York Jets have been a struggle bus this season. And then when I have placed prop bets on them this season, they've just, you know, done me wrong. So here I am betting prop bets once again on the Jets on Thursday Night Football. What am I even doing?
This is a different situation, though. This is a different situation.
Well,
we're going to go. You are being forced.
I'm being forced. That is exactly right. Well, we actually do have a couple that I do like here for the Jets, even though they've burned me so many times this season. But I think there are a couple that are in a good spot. So we'll get to those. Again, we're going to go through our top 3 props. The tool we're using is the PropsAI tool. It's available on the LineStar app, and what it does is it compares LineStar's projections to what's out there in the sports books. It's basically like a one-stop shop for all of your research needs. It shows you the trends over the course of the season, the last couple games, and the different matchups. So it's a really great tool. That's what we're using to find our best bets. The first pick's going to come from LineStar's PropsAI tool, and then Tyler and I are going to go in with our best picks of Thursday Night Football. And lastly, we will give you our touchdown calls for those of you who are putting together some anytime touchdown tickets. We got you covered. Plus, at the end of the show, we'll tell you who we like to win this game against the spread. All right, let's start things off with, yes, a Jets prop. From the LineStar app, we're going with Jets tight end Tyler Conklin over 26.5 receiving yards. LineStar's projecting Conklin to go over 31 receiving yards. Conklin's been averaging around 37 receiving yards per game. He's gone over 60% of the time this season. Tyler, he's been a very reliable target for whoever is quarterback back there. And when you're looking at this Cleveland Browns defense, right, the best in the league, this is going to be a really tough task. So it's kind of hard to take some of the overs on these offensive player props, but this is one I like because Conklin has been so reliable. And you've got to think that Trevor Siemian at quarterback for the Jets is going to have to check down quite a bit. He's going to be under a lot of pressure against that Cleveland Browns defense. I kind of like the play here. I think that Tyler Conklin could be the answer for the Jets on some of these offensive play calling. What do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And the Cleveland defense over the last 4 weeks hasn't been great versus the tight end. Schultz, 61 yards. Komet, 23 yards, you know, which isn't great, but he did have a touchdown. He had 5 receptions. Then you have Evan Ingram, who had 95 yards, and Tyler Higbee at 35 the week before that. So over the last 4 weeks, they're allowing 60 yards to the tight end. And if this game is going to be a check down fest, Tyler Conklin absolutely could be a benefactor.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it's going to be a check down fest with the game total at 34.5. Pretty low here. Low scoring affair. Of course, you've got the two top defenses in the NFL going after these offenses. So we got Tyler Conklin. All right, so that's one on our ticket. Tyler, where are you headed for your pick in Thursday Night Football?
I'm going to go with Elijah Moore over 2.5 receptions. That's minus 135 in sportsbooks. Look, on the year, he's averaging 3.6 per game over the last 4 weeks. He's still had 6.3 targets, but he's only had 2.8 receptions per game over that span. On the season, his targets are only 6.5, but he has 3.6 receptions per game. So I think we are just going to see some variance back to the positive for Moore, and that we could count on 3+ catches for him. So I like that spot, minus 135.
For my prop bet, yes, I am a Jets fan, but do you think I'm going to take a Jets player for my prop bet? Absolutely not. I've seen too much of this season. I'm going with a Browns player. We're going Amari Cooper over 58.5 receiving yards. That line is way too low for a player of Cooper's caliber who's averaging 83.3 receiving yards per game. He's had 77 receiving yards or more over the last 3 games. Hey guys, the Joe Flacco Cooper connection is popping, and that New York Jets defense, yes, they're good. They limit the opposing team's passing to the second fewest yards in the NFL. But against wide receiver ones that are very talented, they do rack up some yardage and some stats in this one. I expect them to do that with Cooper. And when you've watched some of the highlights with Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper, it's not just the deep ball that he's hitting him on, that he's having these big explosive plays. It's like shorter passes that he's really making an impact. And I think that's what you could see here. That's how a lot of teams have played the New York Jets, is kind of like this over the middle kind of playing. And Amari Cooper you could see him break out a few plays in there. I think he hits that line. I think that's just too low. I'm not crazy about, I don't think he's going to put up 260 like he did last week, but I think he could clear that line and go more towards his average of about 83. Tyler, any thoughts on Amari Cooper after what was an unbelievable week in fantasy football? I'm sure he secured a lot of people's teams in the fantasy football playoffs.
Yeah. Him and CMC have been a cheat code lately. You know what? I think you make a really good point about how much lower this line is than the average that he's been hitting all year. I know it is a tough matchup. Amari Cooper throughout his whole career has been extremely boom or bust, but this is 20 something yards lower than his average. Right. And when you're that low below your average and you have a quarterback that's just hyper targeting you, it makes sense to just attack the over.
Yeah. I mean, do I think the Jets are going to limit him to some respects, especially after last week's performances? I do think they're going to try to limit him. Sauce is going to be all over him. However, like you said, do I think he's going to be limited to 24 yards below what his average has been all season long? No, I don't. Especially in a home game where the stakes are high. The Cleveland Browns are playing for a playoff spot in this one. So I expect them to be hyped up for this one, including Amari Cooper. So like that play there. All right, so those 3 you can find: Underdog Fantasy, PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard. Again, the promo code to use for those apps for $100 of your first deposit match is LineStar. Links to that are below as well. And if you haven't already, do us a huge favor. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment below. A comment will automatically enter you into the Prop Bets contest. If we go 3 for 3, one randomly selected commenter will win $60. So you got to be in it to win it. And then also let us know where you're headed in your prop bets for tonight. We're always liking to hear from people where they're headed. I know I might take a couple unders on some of the Jets in this one, just because, it's one of those things where if it's your team and you're watching them and it's going to hurt to lose, you might as well at least give yourself some incentive to be happy if they blow it. You know what I mean? Although it's the Jets though. So I'm sure they'd they'd find a way to break my heart so that not only would they lose, but they would also lose the prop bets for me as well. That's just the season it's been as a Jets fan. It's been atrocious. So you know what? Your condolences in the comments will also suffice. for this one. All right. Those are our prop bets. Now it's time for our touchdown calls of the game. Tyler, where are you headed for an anytime touchdown in this Thursday night contest in week 17?
You know, I'm going with a guy that I did really want to make a couple prop bets on, but I just thought his lines were a little bit too high. But his touchdown line, I think, is a little bit too low, and we're going David Njoku plus 190 to get a touchdown. Njoku's averaging 9.3 targets per game with Flacco, and he leads the team in red zone targets over those 4 weeks. The Jets are giving up 0.5 touchdowns to the tight end. I think they're all going to be all over Cooper, and Njoku is the next best option.
All right, for my prop bet for a touchdown call, I'm going with Breece Hall plus 175. This one was tough for me because do I think the Jets are going to be scoring a ton of touchdowns in this one? Absolutely not. But do I trust Breece Hall a little bit, especially after last week's performance against Washington where he had 2 touchdowns? And then he's also had 4 touchdowns on the year. I kind of trust in Breece Hall. 191 total yards against Washington. Looks really good. I think if the Jets have any offensive power, it's going to come from Breece Hall. And I think he could manage. I know this is a tough Cleveland Browns defense, but if anyone can get the job done, it's going to be Breece Lightning for the New York Jets. So I like the price tag here, plus 175. Not too bad for the RB1 of the Jets. Let's go. Breece Lightning. Let's roll. What do you think about Breece here?
I don't mind
like
a little
fantasy.
Breece.
I don't know. What do you think about his fantasy outlook? I'm curious to hear your take on it. Takedown Tyler. That's your nickname for DFS.
For this week, I don't really love it.
Understandable. Facing the top
I'm going to be
team in Rush
him
DVOA.
in one of my leagues where I'm in the championship game. I am going to be benching him, but I have a lot of options on that team at running back, so that is part of the reason. But I mean, he's a very, very good running back. Can he get it done? Can he get it into the end zone? Absolutely. And he's going to be targeted a ton probably in this game. And that's where a lot of his fantasy value has come this year. So while it's not a great matchup, these tough matchups do, present more checkdowns for him. And I know you and I both kind of liked that receiving prop line, but didn't quite get there for us to put it on there.
Yeah, 29.5. I think he probably gets there given the fact that, as we talked about in this game, we're looking at a bunch of checkdowns against really good defenses that are especially good pass defenses. But against running back specifically, you got those little over the middle passes, get him in a little bit of space. I think he can work with that and reach that receiving yards line. Hopefully, the fact that he is such a receiving threat also helps him out in that touchdown department as well. I think that adds an extra element and why he might be a little more valuable than your standard just running back there. He's like utilized so much in the receiving game. Love that there too. So good stuff for Breece Hall. Hopefully he comes through for at least a touchdown, and hopefully he doesn't cost you anything given that you benched him, Tyler. But I see your logic there. I get it. It's a tough matchup against this Browns defense. It's going to be playing at home. The Jets haven't done well on the road at all. Their only win on the road has been against the Giants, which is that even a road game, really? But yeah, and it's the Giants. So that's kind of my take on the Jets. As you can see, I'm not super thrilled with where we are this season. One of 4 teams that are already eliminated in the AFC. So that's where we're at. Knowing the Jets, though, is they're going to just spoil themselves out of, really good, like a good spot in the draft. I just think that's the season. That's where we're at. But, could be worse. We could be the Denver Broncos and owing millions and millions of dollars to a quarterback who's not even playing for us.
That story is just so wild.
Very wild. Very wild. What do you think about it?
Man,
quick take.
How the mighty have fallen.
Whew, we go from doing high knees in the airplane to riding the pine. It's not a good spot.
But he hasn't been good, and he's not near anything close to what he's being paid, so it makes total sense to me. The thing that I thought was weird, though, was that Sean Payton clearly had the opportunity to say, yeah, this is a monetary issue, and that's why he's not playing. But he went the he's not playing well enough route.
Right. Yeah, that was an interesting
So,
interesting take there. But
yeah.
either way, makes for an interesting storyline to watch, and I'm sure some other teams there could be some landing spots for him that are kind of appealing. So that'll probably be something we will mull over or the media will mull over for the next couple of weeks here. All right, so those are our touchdown calls, our prop bets. Looking at this game right now, the Cleveland Browns favored by 7.5 points. Tyler, where do you fall in this one?
Oh, I gotta go Browns. I can't trust this
Right?
this Jets team.
It's disgusting.
They're just terrible.
Although, if there is any time to back the Jets, it is in a situation where winning hurts them, and so they will win in order, the long-term future is at stake here if they win. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's so typical Jets to do. It's 7.5 points. It's a good Jets defense. They don't allow a lot of points. They don't allow a lot of touchdowns. And so I could see them covering, but given the way they played the last couple of weeks, I just can't pull the trigger on a Jets. I'm not betting the sides on this one for anyone that cares, but I can't back the Jets. There's no way.
Wouldn't be betting.
Yeah, not doing it. But okay, so I guess I've talked myself into the Browns here. The Browns are going to clinch a spot in the playoffs here. On Thursday Night Football. All right, for more information and analytics, that tool that I was telling you about, the PropsAI tool, you'll see it pop up on the graphics. That is from our LineStar app. LineStarApp.com is where you can find that. It's a great tool that'll help you in the prop market. Also, daily fantasy as well. We've got all the projections and matchup tool, lineup optimizer as well. And stay tuned to the LineStar YouTube channel. Tyler will have a breakdown for all you guys playing daily fantasy as well, so make sure to check that out. Good luck in your Thursday Night Football betting endeavors. Good luck. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.